message, but there's also kind of the energy of a painful ending in one chapter of our life does not prohibit us from having so many other things that are still going very well. Our careers can be great. Our life can be mostly balanced, even as one component of our life, our relationship, could be ending or going belly up. And sometimes that actually leads us to a greater outcome in our own, life, in our own selves. So even though it's painful when something ends or collapses, we can also still be experiencing great joy in a whole nother avenue of our lives. And that's such an important concept to be able to hang on to, like to know that even when there's a chapter that ends, we don't end a connection with ourselves. We don't cease to have success in other areas of our life. And in fact, sometimes it embellishes the areas of our life that are going very, very well. Maybe because it's the big juxtaposition, or maybe it's because the wrong relationship can really impede our happiness in other areas of our life. When we end that, that's when we get, those better connections and that other happiness back. So out of 4 cards, we have one card of pain, 3 cards that are fantastic. Now we bring in the Justice card. Okay, so hey, Brian, good to see you again tonight. With that Justice card being here, I mean, that is talking about balance, or rather imbalance. It's talking about, sometimes we give too much of our perception of happiness. We apply it to, like, I can only be really, really happy as long as I've got this relationship that's working out. And this reminds us that that would be an imbalance in life. I kind of love this because I feel like either Ophiuchus has gone through some difficult chapters in relationship, and they've still come out saying, yeah, but you know what? I'm pretty good. I'm pretty solid despite all of it. We have a Page of Pentacles upright. Hi, nope. Definitely the energy of I'm stabilizing myself. My life will go on. If Ophiuchus has ended a relationship and it was painful, the fastest way that Ophiuchus picks themselves back up is they're saying, okay, that sucked, but you know what's good? I've got great friends. I've got, other great relationships in my life. I like what I do for a living, or I like the way I've been, creating my own talents and enhancing things in my life. I like where I live. I like the business I've built. I like all these other things in my life. So it's only one area of life that I'm disappointed in right now. But let me bring myself back to balance. Let me start, focusing a little bit more on counting up the things that are really good in my world. With that Page of Pentacles, we may also have, this could be Ophiuchus saying, maybe I want to go talk to somebody new. That'll also help me to move on and to identify that I really am done with my past. Look, in this storyline, Ophiuchus is getting over a painful ending. Hi, Joan, Semanita. Nice to see you guys. Hey, hey. This is definitely Ophiuchus moving forward. And it's great to see it because it might be, one baby step at a time. Okay, fair enough. Look, it's easier said than done to say a painful ending in a relationship doesn't knock the wind out of us. Of course it does. But I think this Ophiuchus is like a realist, and they're able to look at things and say, yeah, but that's not the only thing that happened to me today or this week or this year. Losing one connection or having a real painful ending on something, even something I didn't want to end, it's not the only thing there is in my life. And I know this will still be a bit of a, baby steps as I talk myself through this, and I, start to take one step in front of another and be willing to talk to a different person, be willing to meet somebody new. It might still be a process, but every day gets a little bit better. I think that if this is what the subconscious is bringing up, sorry, my puppy I don't really know what he hears right now. We have the moon. So it is a moment of deep self-reflection because we see her seeing her own face in the water here. And we see, of course, the moon card, and tonight is the full moon. So I would say this is a particularly powerful moment for Ophiuchus to say, I realize I've made a lot of little steps toward moving myself out of hurt and pain and moving myself back into a place of happiness. And this could be the day or the night where Ophiuchus is like seeing the culmination of that. Like, actually, I made a lot more progress. Actually, I feel a lot better than I did for a while. I feel better than I thought I did. This is a lot of things are going right for me right about now. Except my Aries. I feel like Aries has historically always ended up barking more in Ophiuchus videos and Gemini videos than any other zodiac. I don't know why that is, Ophiuchus. I'm so sorry about that. I hope it's not quite as loud since he's in a different side of the house, but I know you can still hear it. With that 5 of Wands sideways, hang on. Aries, come here, my love. You did really good. Yeah, come to mama. Let's see. I think he's laying on the couch in the living room now, woofing. He's settling down. Okay, 5 of Wands being sideways is somebody who's definitely addressing things, especially during this full moon. And I even think Ophiuchus might be realizing, I haven't been thinking about that ended relationship so frequently. I haven't really been analyzing it or mulling over it so much anymore. A lot of things have, I don't know, maybe lightened up a little bit. Maybe I don't need so many answers because my life is getting more full and I'm more thinking about my present and my future than about my past. I kind of dig it. Can we just see, I'm just curious right now, how is this full moon hitting whomever the person there was a painful ending with? And by the way, that person could have been a Libra, Gemini, Aquarius. We have got the Queen of Pentacles, the 2 of Wands, and the Hermit. They're kind of wondering where Ophiuchus is right about now. They may even be debating between, I wonder what would happen if I reached out. I'm sure Ophiuchus is doing really well, but I wonder what would happen if I reached out. I'm kind of out here still thinking. They're still mulling over things pretty heavily. I don't know that I would think this person would reach out. We see they're somewhere between the sun and the moon, which means they don't really have an answer. It's almost like if Ophiuchus reached out to them, yes, oh, they would like that very much. But we can see they toy with the idea, but they're still kind of out here on their hermit's journey. So, I mean, to their credit, they're still thinking about this ending. I do think they wish Ophiuchus would come back to them, but I don't really see them taking action. But maybe during this full moon, they're having some illuminating ideas, or maybe they're just now starting to really think about things. Sometimes that can be the way this goes as well. They're just now kind of starting to say something or think something. Oh, we have the Fool sideways. Yeah, I definitely don't see them reaching out to Ophiuchus. I just see them still mulling over it, whereas Ophiuchus is mulling over this a lot less during this full moon. You know, to me, that would indicate maybe they have the bigger lesson to need to be learned out of all of this. And maybe Ophiuchus has already completed their chapters of their lessons throughout this. It almost feels like they have a much deeper, longer journey to, you know, like ascertain what was the big takeaway from this. Maybe it's to take off their mask. Maybe it's something that they need to, I don't know, just come to terms a little bit more with what role they played. I don't see this as a reconciliation story at all. I see this as letting go and moving forward for Ophiuchus, but realizing they've already moved forward a lot. Do we have a final message for Ophiuchus for this full moon? I really like seeing this. I like the progress. 8 of Cups, Queen of Cups. Keep on moving forward. Keep on moving on. But at the same time, with like absolutely like with love and gravitating toward like opening one's heart up. I think because this whole thing has been about Ophiuchus realizing that their life is more full of good things than hurt or the negativity associated with the ending of this connection, I can understand why the biggest message from the universe would be Ophiuchus keep gravitating every day towards something sunny, something beautiful, something that you want, something that, satisfies you, something that you want to give your energy to because it gives something of satisfaction back. And I think that's a really nice message. This isn't about jumping into the next romance. It's more about really loving our freedom to move forward in life and move toward the things that we love. I do want to ask though, is this because we still have Ophiuchus basically in a healing process, but it's a much more dynamic process? Yeah. Eight of Swords is here. There's still a little bit of, we're as stuck as we let ourselves be. The Eight of Swords is usually like a voluntarily stuck card, but it's like when we're stuck and we don't know it. And the reason I say it that way is because there's always all these swords that all our character would ever have to do is like lean over and like, rub their little tied up ropes against the sword and they could cut themselves free, but they rarely realize that they could do it. And I think that's why the universe is like, don't think of this as a healing journey, because then it might feel like, oh gosh, am I still stuck? The universe is like, no, just keep gravitating toward things that make Ophiuchus happy, keep gravitating toward, counting up all the beautiful things, keep, bringing in moments of happiness, and don't worry or think about like, oh, am I still stuck on this person? Am I still stuck somewhere? We don't need to worry about that. The more happiness we bring in, the more we lean toward our future, we're going to leave any, I'll say, tarnished energy behind us. And we're just going to get happier and happier every day. This might not be the moment where Ophiuchus instantly meets some new romantic partner, but this is the moment where we see them making really big strides away from a pain from the past. And it kind of feels effortless. And if that's what this full moon is bringing in, I say amen to that. I love it because it feels like Ophiuchus doesn't have to like sit down and do this heavy, intense work. It would be like, what if somebody said, hey, if, you know what, you could lose weight by eating delicious ice cream. That would be an amazing thing. The more delicious ice cream you eat, the more weight you lose. That would be fantastic. Well, that's the equivalent of this. The more nice things Ophiuchus brings into their life, the more they heal. The more benefit they get. Their life gets better and they get further away from something that was painful in the past. That sounds like eating ice cream to lose weight. So really nice message on that. All right, you guys. Thank you so much. Really appreciate you guys. All right, I am going to end here. I will see you guys again tomorrow and we will start a new series. Ophiuchus, I will get you guys another video throughout this week though, for sure. I know, Joan, it was nice to see. RB, it all depends on if you want to consider where, Ophiuchus's timeline is, right? Because it's around the Scorpio Sag region, and it all depends. The sun transits not just through the 12 zodiacs, but actually through Ophiuchus, the sign of Ophiuchus as well. It actually spends, I think, a little bit more time in Ophiuchus than it does in Scorpio, believe it or not. And so what I've read, and of course, I'm not an astrologer, so bear that in mind. And so everybody's going to have different opinions on this. But one of the things that I read is that for the perfect ratios of degrees, it was kind of more or less decided that we would just discount Ophiuchus and just go ahead and say, no, we'll just go ahead and say that there's just 12 zodiacs instead of the 13th. For some people, it was for convenience sake. I don't know. Like I say, I'm not an astrologer, but it was requested to me once upon a time that I include Ophiuchus. And so for those who like Ophiuchus, I include that now. So, I mean, if we want to get down to nuts and bolts, though, because of precession, none of us are the zodiac that we think we are. So I personally, I love the zodiacs for storytelling purposes because I'm literally a storyteller, not, like I said, not an astrologer. I'm not a psychic. I use this more for inspiration because, our ancestors, they used to sit out under the night skies and they told stories about the stars because they didn't have TVs and they didn't have lights. And so some of our earliest stories have to do with, the different constellations and the stories of the the stars and eventually the zodiacs. And so I'm kind of carrying on that tradition where it's purely storytelling to entertain and maybe to be thought provoking. So I'm not one who probably cares as much about like the stringent, like what sign are we really in? Have we factored in the precession? All these different things. So I guess I'm a little loosey goosey on that. It's I'm a strong Virgo, I'm a double Virgo, and I never feel like a Virgo. There's so many Virgo traits that I don't resonate with at all. Some of the really big components of being a Virgo, I'm like, yeah, that's not me at all. So I kind of feel like we choose to be who we are. So anyway, I don't know if that explains anything, but yeah. San Juanita, you sweetheart. Well, I gotta let everybody get some rest. I think we can probably adopt ourselves into any zodiac that we feel connected to. Because, you guys know I prefer the information about north nodes and south nodes, which if I were to lean into that more heavily, which I prefer to, then my north node is Leo. So I would be less concerned with my Virgo placements and more concerned with the fact that in this lifetime, my aspiration would be to lean more toward becoming like a Leo energy. And I kind of think that's intriguing. So anyway, but wherever you wish to classify yourself, you are warmly welcome, Darby, at least here in my world. So I'm sorry, I know that's not an exact answer, but I'm a big fan of adopting ourselves into whatever we feel connected to. So Air Bubble, nice to see you. 11:08, hi hun. Fire on fire, I hear you. Oh, sweetheart, Prayer on Fire, it's so good to see you. Yeah, we did a whole bunch of live streams tonight. We did 7 zodiacs today, and I did most of them live. So all zodiacs have had their full moon message now. So if you're looking for any of them, they've all been done, including Cancer. I did that over on the other channel on Tarot Dog earlier today. You guys, thanks again. Joan, you're so sweet. Somebody, he does talk a little bit in the Taurus videos, doesn't he? Yeah. You want to pop up and say hi to everybody? Come here. Yeah. Go. Oh, he's going to dance around. He wants mommy. He's trying to get me to come out there and look at something. I don't know what he imagines. It's probably the fridge. He's probably he wants dinner number 3 or something. Hi, G. Nice to see you. Sexy Senator Sag. Awesome to catch you tonight. So Juanita, everything but the garage. The garage I'm still arranging. Otherwise, the rest of the house is pretty good. I look over and I got a shelf I got to fix over there too. But yeah, the garage is probably my nemesis still. It can be tidied up really soon, but I've been kind of putting it off because I got busy with other things. Jerry Coleman, hi Moon Pony. You guys, thanks so much. It's really good to hang out with you tonight. He's over here dancing around, Joan. Sometimes he does this. Aries, come here, baby. Come here. Yeah, Joan wants to say hi to you. Will you come up and say hi? There we go. He can be like a little bit camera shy sometimes. You're not quite can we do this and get your face in this way? He's like, no, I know that's a camera. Anyway, he says hello. Oh, 11:08. I'm reading your message right now. The lone surviving story of the ancient Incas was about the southern skies constellations, and its myth predicted the celestial precession in the 6th century. I'm telling you, it's so impressive, isn't it? All of our ancestors all around the world, they were so brilliant. Every culture contributed something, and many of them had like their own versions of what they saw. They would like name it something different, and yet it would be kind of similar anyway. It was just incredible when you read up on some of the ancient cultures and their, like I'll say sky maps and such. It's very impressive. Joe Neal, I think he's gorgeous too, but of course I'm partial. I was raised with blue healers. Well, a blue heeler. Matilda was with us for 19 years. And so that was the dog of my life. And then, many years later, because we had her until I was in my 20s. Then when I was ready in my 40s to finally, settle down and get a dog myself, I was going to get a blue heeler. And so it was the right time. So I got my Aries, and he's been with me since he was born now, and he's a nice young doggy still. So I have many, many good years with him, and I'm so happy. They're very long-lived dogs. I think at one point, they held the Guinness Book of World Records for longest lived. I'm not sure if that's changed, but I think the eldest was 25 for the blue heeler. They're really, really healthy, strong little dogs. They're little oxes. But yeah, he's really, really smart, and he's a tyrant, and I adore him. Joan, are you kidding me? Your cat's name was Matilda? Oh my God, I love that. I love that. Air Bubble. Oh, I know. Border Collies are amazing. It's so smart, right? Yeah, Aries as a blue heeler, I will tell you, he's one I really wanted to work with him as a baby, and make sure that he wouldn't wind up nipping, because they're work dogs, they're cattle dogs, and like Matilda, she nipped me until I was like 11 because she thought I was a cow until she knew I could cook. And then she was like, "Oh, you're not a cow, okay?" But yeah, it was with him. They say if you yip like a wounded cow every time they nip you as a puppy, they don't want to hurt anything. And so you can kind of like help train them to like all nipping hurts. And so I did that for like a whole year when he was a baby, and he doesn't nip at all. If anything, he's probably the most social blue heeler I've ever seen. He just loves people. And he never like herds me into, a group setting. He does boink me on the back of the calf, but he does that to tell me he's there. He does that. Sometimes it's to tell me he wants food, but it's not really to herd. So I was actually relieved that I was able to like socialize him a little bit more, just because unless you've got a couple head of cattle for them to herd, and I have access to property, but I don't have cattle for him. So I was like, I'm going to need to get him more accustomed to playing soccer balls and things like that. So yeah, he's great. So he's actually just a little bit larger. So in the United States, the blue heelers are larger than what we see in Australia. So, they're quite small dogs, really. But in the US, like the males are like 45 pounds, and like, oh gosh, how tall does he stand? Probably not more than like 19 to 21 inches, somewhere right in there. But he's longer than the average male, and he actually comes in at just a little heavier, even for an American continent blue heeler, because he pushes into like almost the 50-pound range in the winter, and drops back down to 45 in the summer. So he's on the big end. He was the biggest of his brothers and sisters too. His daddy was a little bit larger. Also, his dad was a red heeler. His mom was a blue. But yeah, I did 11-8. I did. I cried like an injured cow for about a year. And I'm pretty sure that my neighbors were deeply confused by what was going on in my apartment. And no, I am so not going to wail like an injured cow at the moment for you. 11-8, your birthday's coming up, isn't it? I promise when I do your birthday storytelling, I'll wail like an injured cow for you, just for you, but that'll be your birthday gift. Something to look forward to. Sav, you're so awesome. Thank you so much for being here, babe. Nice to see you, honey. Oh my God, Small TV. We have a good time around here. You guys are such a delight. I cannot tell you how much I appreciate you guys and how fun you are. And it's just such a delight. I so love it here. Hamida, hi, babe. I'm backtracking because I think, did I say hi to everybody at the beginning? Cherry Coleman and Moon Pony and Nope. Sexy Centaur Sag. Okay, yes, I did get a chance to say hi. And Brian, thank you again. It's always great to hang out with you. You guys are so much fun. Yes, 11 to 8. I was like, I know you're coming up. So Chris R.A., I bet you don't. I bet you sound amazing. You know how many people, and I feel like it's every person I've ever talked to who says, oh, I can't sing. They all have amazing voices. So I'll bet you anything, Chris, that you sound much better than you think when you sing. Joan, you're adorable. Uh, no, I think that, some of my most favorite singers in the world also are the ones who have just such a unique and different like sound anyway. Like who's to say what's a great voice and what's not, It all depends because we also such a different, if you think of like Tom Waits does a lot of like growling, but then you've got singers like oh gosh, like I was just listening to them earlier tonight, Jonathan Fire Eater. Oh gosh, my favorite track by them, and he kind of sounds drunk throughout the whole thing. Um, what is it? Oh, Impatient uh, Impatient Talent Show off of the Wolf Songs for Lambs album by Jonathan Fire Eater. And it's just like the you never know. It's all what we like. There's so many different sounds that I just adore, and I'm all over the map with high pitch, low pitch, scratchy, sometimes off key. Like I just love it all. Everybody's got their own taste in music. When your son was young, he said you sounded like an angel. Then he turned 26 and he changed his mind. Probably just his taste in music changed, right? Also, I don't know, is it cool anymore to say that your mom sings like an angel? My mom used to sing lullabies to us, and most of my life, I actually thought that mine and my brother's names were in a song that she would sing to us. It wasn't until I grew up and realized that Lullaby and Goodnight did not actually have my name in it, because she always sang it like it was the way it was, and I always thought it was so cool that there was a song that happened to have, like everybody must sing the song, but it's always got my name and my brother's name in it, and did not realize it was like not actually about us. So yeah. 11 to 8, my karaoke. Oh my God, that's adorable. Wendy E, you're perfect. I would say that that's even better. The fact that you sense when we're online, and especially because I know probably YouTube did not give anybody a notification on this one because I've done so many lives today, and I think they'll only send out notifications a couple times. So I think you're remarkable with your intuition, sensing that we must all be here. Hey, Jonathan, great to see you. Oh, Brian, it's really nice here, isn't it? I feel so lucky to know you guys. Oh, Wendy E, that's so sweet. You miss singing to your little at night when she's 24 now and all grown up. You know what? I'll bet you she'd still love to hear your voice. I so I sing a good morning song to Aries. I have since he was so it's his first morning that he came home to me as a baby, and he likes it. Like my dog actually likes it. He also dances with me. So it makes it impossible to dance because he wants to dance with me. And he particularly loves rap music to dance to, because he jumps and stuff. It's pretty funny. But yeah, I sing a made up good morning song to Aries every day of his dog life for going on 5 years now, and he expects it. So yeah, even if you don't have kids, I think singing is just one of those natural things that I think we all do that with the little creatures or the little ones that we love, I suppose. Chris R.A., sweet dreams, honey. Yes. Oh my gosh, Joan. Yes, I dig rap music. I love all music, but I danced for a long time. I did a lot of belly dance, and it was all because of the drum lines, the rhythms, and rap has such nice, powerful drum lines too. And so it's just like a natural, like, I also love like Celtic music. Oh, the drums in Celtic music and Brazilian music is so powerful. So yeah, to me, all of that fits together. So yeah. Oh, so Juanita, that's so sweet. You sing in the wildlife outside. They all run. But I like that you sing to the wildlife. That's really nice. Air bubble. You're adorable. You think the kids used to go to sleep just to get you to hush? I doubt that. Brian, do you write music? That's amazing. That is so cool. What a talent to have. What an absolute talent to have. I mean, because writing music is storytelling, it's poetry, but then put to a melody and having a cadence and a tempo. I mean, that's very impressive. You guys are so lovely. Oh my gosh, Wendy, you weren't able to sing for almost 30 years because of chronic bronchitis. Oh, that would be rough. But the dry altitude here has cured that finally. That's wonderful. I'm so happy for you. That's so nice. Yeah, I find that I in my family, we tend to sing just at random, like a word sparks a memory of lyrics, and we all do it like without thinking in my family. So if I'm around a family member, we will pick up somebody else's like one sentence that they barely then started to hum, and then pretty soon the other person's singing the whole rest of the song. And then it's like, who played that? Why am I singing that? And it's like we spread it to each other like a cold. San Juanita, favorite rap artist. So I will say I don't have anybody that I could say is my number one favorite, because it all depends. Like, I'm a lover of very specific like songs, but I never like anybody. There's not a single artist out there where I say I love everything that they do. So like I would say that some of the go-to stuff, remember I'm 45 and my era of like rap music. I mean, of course I loved some of, Cypress Hill, if I'm in that particular mood. But if I'm really like dancey type mood, I'm probably going to hit like some of the grooves. You got to love like Genuine, just kind of some R&B stuff. But like harder core rap, I mean, I do like Fetty Wap for a slightly newer artist. I mean, what's like 10 years back. I do love me some Mystical. Oh, Mystical Fever. Love, love, love that particular track. I like some of the smoother, heavy beats. So like Future, I really like Future. Mask Off is one that I really enjoy. Oh gosh, my brain goes blank. I mean, of course, Missy Elliott. There's probably Young Bloods also. Young Bloods, Young Ones. Sometimes I blend artist names too. But Tear It Up. It was great. It's a piece that has like a lot of like drum line, like a whole marching band sampled into it. It's called Tear It Up. But kind of fun, danceable stuff is what I would say. So yeah. But it's so many different artists and singers, and especially when you get into the rap genre, there's so much to choose from. And I would say almost everybody has some banger that I just love. Give me a little Fat Joe and Ashanti. It's a lot of it is the stuff that, used to go out and dance to. Love Ludacris too. Air Bubble, that's awesome. Your party trick is being able to name a song from the opening riff. That is awesome. I definitely I have to get somewhere into a song usually. I rarely will recognize something. I mean, unless it's like, Cashmere or something. And, we all know it. But I would just so actually the time that I realized Aries likes rap music was when I was trying to work out. And I was listening to a couple different pieces, but I was listening to Ludacris at the time. And then after that, it went to Slow Motion by Juvenile. And oh my God, he went nuts. He was like, I'm sure it's my moves. I don't think it's the music. I think it's that I'm dancing around and exercising. And so he wants to do it too. So, and he, jumps up and does his twists and stuff. And yeah, he's not the best dancer, to be honest, but oh, I don't know that I've heard that. The Kiss song. I'm going to have to check that out, Joan. I can't think of it right now. I'm actually really bad with titles. It I know sounds, but I'm really bad sometimes with artists and titles. That's why so often I'm like, somebody fact check me. Somebody fact check me. There's a song in my head right now, and I'll quote a couple of the lyrics, but then oftentimes I don't know the singer, or I don't know the title. There's so many tracks that if they came on, and even famous tracks, I don't know all the lyrics. I don't have a clue what the title of the song ever was. It's so funny how my brain only cares about the parts that I really like, which is the rhythm and the sound, but I don't necessarily commit everything else to memory. I wish I had a better brain. Oh my God, San Juanita, I love that. Your friends called you misdemeanor. Misdemeanor Elliot or Juanita. I love that. Uh, Joan, I will definitely check it out. Thank you. I'll listen to that before I go to bed tonight. I hear you, Wendy. It's hard for you to commit your own songs to memory. Also, you can remember a single verse to millions of other songs, though. Isn't that wild? It's I don't know what it is about our minds, or I know that my memory is associated with like specific like moments also. So I'm the worst if somebody asks me what's your favorite, and I'm like, I'll just go blank. If somebody asks me what's my favorite movie, blank. But if I'm like at a club, I'll be like, oh, I hope they play this song, this song, this song, this song, this song. It's weird how like my brain remembers things and can conjure up stuff like almost out of like boxes. Like I have drawers that I keep information in, and I have to be in that place for that drawer to be opened, and then there's the information. Otherwise that drawer is shut, and I'm like, that's not where I'm functioning right now. I'm functioning over here. And it's really weird how, I don't know if everybody files information like that, or if it's the older I get, I only have so much storage in my brain. But yeah, air bubble, that is so awesome. I love it. Thank you for that. I figured so many people love music just like I do. And I'm sure that I'll say like one line and you guys all know instantly the album, the track, you're picturing the cover art, you're picturing all of it. And I'm over here like still trying to describe it. And you guys already know the answer. It's like, it's so helpful when you guys pop in and let me know. I agree, Wendy. The cross-referenced computer files. Yes, I completely agree with you. Brian, you're so cute. And I say I'm not a Virgo. I know, you're right. Some things I do file away, don't I? Like a Virgo. And they probably have little filing tabs on them that are color coded too, right? You guys, thank you. It's really nice to see you guys this evening. I am always so honored that you guys hang out with me a little here and there. It's really fun. I'm going to pop on out, and I'm actually going to put together an extra shelf tonight before bed because, okay, Brian, you definitely can make fun of me for this one because that is the most Virgo thing ever. I can't wait to put together my shelf because then I can put my tarot cards on another shelf. Right now, it's a little bit like closing in on me because like at my elbows, I have like if I can't put my elbows down or they'll be on decks of cards and it's driving me nuts. So I have to have just a little bit of a rack next to me that I can put them on. And so I know that's very Virgo. Fire on fire. You guys make them fun. Thank you guys. Oh, I love Big Pimpin'. 1188, did you rock that? That is awesome. Jay-Z, and oh my God, the whole Black album was amazing. Lucifer, love that one. But yeah, Big Pimpin'. I am hearing that right now. That is, if that comes on, that's bumping. You got to dance to that one. I know. 11:8, it is very Virgo of me. All right, you guys, sweet dreams, everyone. Take care, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye for now.